So today we are going to talk about total year to date, total quarter to date, and total month to date functions. So first of all, let us understand when do we exactly use these functions. Let's say you have got a data, and let's say that is a sales data, and you want to analyze that data. Okay, uh, and let's assume that today is 16th June of 2024, okay? And you want to analyze the data for this year. Now, what will happen when you use total quarter to date? What happens? Let's say current date is today's date is 16th June. So what, as I said, right from the, let's say the year that you selected is first, Jan to the 31st December standard year. Then until current date, that is until 16th June, right from the beginning of the year, that is 1st of Jan to 16th June, whatever is the sell done, you will get the exact cumulative amount of the sales on 16th June. Let's say if you try to find out the sale on 17th June, it will give you the total cumulative sales till 17th. So even I'm not saying that by month wise, I'm saying even the date wise data you can get using the year to date function for the entire year. Now you can easily guess what will happen in case of total quarter to date functions. Obviously, same thing would be happening, but the only difference is that for every quarter, same thing would be happening. Let's say the first quarter is from January to March. Then what will happen? So the this cumulative summation would be happening until the end of the March, okay? And from the April onwards, the value would get refreshed, okay? And from the beginning, from April to next quarter, that is April, May, June, it would be happening, and and so on. Same thing would be happening when it comes to total month to date, that is MTD functions total. So this must have given you some idea, and if you're still confused, do not worry. We have got an example, will be very easy to understand. Let's get into that. Okay. So now we'll see how to make use of total year to date function. We have imported this particular data set, okay, and we want to get started. So first of all, we want to create a measure. How do we create a measure? So you just need to click within the table tools here. You can click on this new measure tab. Let's call this measure as total YTD, okay, and let us use the function which is called as total YTD. Now what is it that we want to do? We want to do the cumulative sum, isn't it? So if we want to do the sum, we'll use the sum function. The sum of which column? The sum of the sales amount. So I will select sales amount here. The next parameter that I need to provide is date. Now you tell me what should be the date. We have just one date column, so I will use date from the sales data table, and then I will close it, and that's it. So we have done nothing. We just had this simple data set, and then we have created this total YTD function. How to do that? It's very easy. We just use the total YTD function. We told Power BI that we want to do the sum, and we obviously had to provide one more argument, that is data, because based on, not data, date, because based on this date only we will be able to calculate the cumulative data, cumulative sales amount. The next thing that we want to do is, let's see if that helps, if this is good enough. Let's see. So what I'll do, I'll create this table, and I will quickly try to add the data. So I'll click on add button. Let's get this data, not data, date, and let's say I do not want day, I do not want quarter, let's say month and year would be good enough. Then the next thing that I want is sales amount. So I'll click on sales amount. Now, as you can see, uh, we are able to see the data, okay? And this data is reflecting the month-wise sales amount for the year 2021 as well as 22. Now let's add the measure that we had created, that is total YTD. I'll add this measure, and as we can see, it is reflecting, but we cannot see the cumulative addition. Now that's a problem. How do we resolve this? It's very easy. So there is a reason why this is not getting this is not getting added, because we were expecting that it should show us the cumulative addition every month wise, but that is not happening. How to do that? Let's very easy. Let's do one thing. We need a new table. How can we create a new table? Go to this table tools, and then click on new table. The next thing that you need to do is, let's say this table is a calendar table, so I'll just name this as calendar table. then we'll use calendar function. So what I'll do, I'll use calendar function. Now the start date should be, let's say 2021 01 01. Let's say this is our start date, and as we have the data until 2022. So what I will do, I'll make this as 31/12/2022. So we have got the calendar table for 2 years, 2021 and 2022. Okay, calendar table is already used, so I will just say that this is calendar table 1. Okay, and then I'll click enter. Now we have created this calendar table. Now the next thing that we want to do is, so we have created a calendar table, right? And we already have one more date column here. So it's important that we build a relationship between these two tables, because ultimately both are date columns. So to create this relationship, I will drag and drop this date here, and as you can see that this relationship has been created. Okay. Now the next thing, if you see now, the moment we have done this, the results are reflecting the way we expected. I'll just make this a little bigger so that you can also see this. Now it looks better now. See, so now we can see this data, and if you have a look at this data now, we can see there is a cumulative addition. So 100, 250, 450, and so on. So this is happening till the end of the year. As I said, until the end of the year, this will get added. And as the moment new year is starting, again it is getting restarted from the January month again. So I think that's how we use the total YTD function. Now I will quickly tell you how can we use the total quarter to date function. All you need to do is remove this y and make this as total q2d function, and then I'll quickly hit enter button. And if you see now, just have a look at the data carefully. Jan, Feb, March, okay, uh, and the moment the March ends, from the April onwards we can see a fresh start, because it's a quarterly data, quarterly cumulative addition. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, and the last thing that we want to do is total MTD, that is total month to date data. And for this one also, if you see now, uh, now this will, as I said, this will add only the monthly data. So 1st January 100, then 250, and then you can see again it's a fresh start because new month. So 200, then again 450, and so on. So this way we can use these three functions. Okay, I don't think it's difficult at all. But one thing I would say before we stop today's session, I'm sharing the data sets. Please practice it. Watching won't help alone. You need to practice. Thank you so much for watching.